like a Hellcat.
Hi viewers, welcome to Techie Track YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about MongoDB. Okay, let's move on to our channel. So in our channel we already posted the videos related React.js, Express.js, Node.js. So these are all the part of Monstack. So if you go to these videos, you will get some idea about the Monstack application, how you can build the Monstack application. Also, I shared the steps to build a simple application using React, Express and Node.js, and I shared the code snippets also, so you can get the code from the GitHub repository as well. Okay, let's move on to the MongoDB. So MongoDB is a cross-platform document-oriented database program. What is the meaning of cross-platform oriented? First of all, MongoDB is one of the NoSQL database. NoSQL database means you don't want to write the SQL statement like insert, update, delete, those kind of statement you don't want to write that, and it is not having a it's not store the data in the rows and columns format. Generally, the RDBMS or DBMS are storing the data in the Excel sheet format, like a lot of rows and columns are there, right? So in the same way only it will store the data. But MongoDB will store the data in a document format. Document format means keys and values. So key value pair. Okay. So if you want to pull the data from in the key value pair, you don't want to write the SQL queries like select star from or inner join, outer join. You don't want to write the structured query language. So that is the way we are saying as MongoDB as a NoSQL database. As usual, MongoDB is also written in top of C++, and it is one of the popular NoSQL database, and performance is very good. So you may think about it, why a lot of databases like Oracle, MySQL, those things are there, then what is the reason why we are going to the NoSQL database? Because it depends on your project requirement. If you are going to do the lot of CRUD operation like create, read, update, delete, then you should go to the RDBMS. If you are going to develop a content management application, or if you are going to do a very minimal database transaction, then you can choose the NoSQL database, because you are not going to frequently insert, or you are not going to do the CRUD operation frequently. So in that way you can utilize MongoDB. Okay, so you need to just read through this diagram from bottom to top approach. So in MongoDB, the values are getting stored in the key value format. In the left side, the two boxes are there. The green boxes contains ID, name and school. So ID, name, school, these are all called keys, and it's having the appropriate values like 101, name is Mark Anthony and school is public. So these values are stored within the flower braces. So this is called JSON format, JavaScript notation format. Okay. So these records are stored under the document. So every document is contain this kind of JSON formatted data, and collection of documents are storing under the list of documents are storing under the collections. Okay. For example, in RDBMS, a table contains a list of rows and columns. In the same way, in NoSQL database MongoDB, we are storing the list of records or array of records in the document, and the document will be storing under the collections. So lot of collections will be storing under the MongoDB. So this is the way that MongoDB structure is there. So MongoDB contains lot of collections like EMPD, EPT, lot of collections are there, and each collections contain lot of records, that is called documents. So documents contains key value format. So it is like a JSON format. Okay. So this is the simple comparison between the RDBMS and NoSQL. So RDBMS, you can take any one of the RDBMS, SQL Server or Oracle or MySQL, whatever it is. So database in RDBMS as well as MongoDB also database, and in RDBMS we are saying as a table. So here we are say it as a collection, So table contains lot of rows and columns. Here the collections contains documents and fields, but the tables contains in the rows and columns format. Here it will be storing in the JSON format, and we are using the inner join outer join concept in RDBMS. Here we are using the embedded documents. Okay, so as usual we are using the primary key foreign key relationship in the RDBMS. We can write the minimal way, like we are creating the primary key like a default key ID that is provided by the MongoDB itself. So that is called primary key in MongoDB. Okay, this is the difference between any one of the RDBMS as well as NoSQL database. Okay, so in MongoDB there are two ways you can store the database. You can create the database. Either it is on-premises model or cloud model. So on-premises means you need to go to the MongoDB website, you need to download the MongoDB software and install it in your machine. You need to do the configuration. So here we are going to discuss about two things: how we can configure the data, insert the data into the on-premises database as well as in the cloud format database. Okay, so in the command prompt, so I downloaded the MongoDB and installed it under the program files. So I need to give this command. Okay, so I need to give the MongoD hyphen db path, and this command I need to give that. So once I give that, it will be getting installed. Okay, so db path is a path of the database, and log path, as usual the database log will be available. Okay, so once the installation got completed successfully, we need to start the database. Generally in RDBMS or ORDBMS, we don't want to do these things manually, but in MongoDB we have certain manual intervention. Okay, so the simple command net start MongoDB, if you give that, the DB server will be getting started. So once it gets started, what we need to do, that we need to create a database and we need to create the tables and insert the records. So for the first screenshot shows show DBS. Anyway, it is a fresh database, right? The server is not having any other thing, so all the things will be show it as a 0. So I'm going to create a new database called my customers. To create that, use space my customers. Simply I just give this command, it will be getting created. So that's the thing, it is saying switch it to db my customers. So hereafter I need to create the user. So to create the user, I am giving that db.create user of that key value pair, because MongoDB is a NoSQL format. So I need to give it as a key value format, like username is kk and password is 123 and roles. What is the roles? The roles, like I'm going to create a user with administrator privileges and read write privileges as well. So that's the reason I give that within the square bracket. So once I done that, it will show the details like what is the username and roles and other things. Okay, so the user got created successfully. So next thing what I'm going to do, that I'm going to create a new collection. So to create the collection, I'm give it as a db.create collection of customer. Okay, so that collection, the collection means it's called a table. So the table, the collection table or collection, whatever it is saying as a customer. Okay, so the table is not having any records, so I just give that show collections. So it will show the table name only, it is not showing any other details about the table. I'm going to insert the record into the customer collection. To insert the record into the customer collection, I need to give the command like db.customer.insert of the first name, last name. So these are all the two fields uh, getting created into the customer table, the customer collection, and the values are like John. For the first key, first name is John and the last name is Don. I just give it. So it will create the one record. Okay, so it is showing that right result n inserted, only one record getting inserted into the collection. So if I want to insert the multiple records, I need to give the square bracket. If you see that in the next screenshot, db.customer insert of within the bracket I am giving the another one square bracket. After that I am giving the flower braces. So the flower braces contains the first name last name combination, and it's closed comma the next set of user next set of first name and last name. Okay, so if you want to enter multiple values, you need to put the comma after the flower braces, and you need to give the key value for format. Okay, so once you enter that, it will show the how many records are getting inserted. So this is the bulk insertion, right? So that's the reason it is showing like bulk write result, and it shows the what is the record you are inserted, and n inserted is colon 2. So 2 records are getting inserted. So if I want to list all the records, what all the records are available in the collection, I need to give it as db.customer.find. So if I execute this command, it will show how many records we inserted. 3 records, right? So it shows that 3 records. So if you look into that result, right, it is having the 3 columns: id underscore id, first name, last name. So we gave only the first name, last name. So underscore id is one of the primary key, that is the unique value. So that field is created by the MongoDB. So to handle the records in the unique format, MongoDB provide this facility. Okay, so you don't want to do anything for the underscore id, it will be provided by the MongoDB. Okay, so 3 documents, that is called 3 records, right? So in database we are saying records, but in MongoDB we need to say it as a documents. So 3 documents are created, and the documents are in the key value format. Okay, next move on to add new fields. Okay, so if I want to add the new field, new field name called gender. So what I gave that, so in database, right, we need to provide the commands like alter table, those kind of commands we need to give that, but in the MongoDB we don't want to provide those commands. You can simply include the new column name in the key value format, right? For example, I'm going to insert the new record like the first name as William and last name as Smith, and I'm planning to introduce a new field called gender. So I just give the value, so it will be getting created automatically. Okay, so you see here, right, I just give the db.customer.find. What it is showing, it is showing 4 records. If you see the 4th record, id, first name, last name, and gender is there. So the 4th record contains the gender because I introduced a new field in that 4th record only. For the remaining top 3 records are not having the values for gender, so that's the reason it is not getting displayed. Okay, right. So if I want to display the values in a neat format, right, I need to just give it as a pretty, that pretty format. I just give it as db.customer.find of pretty, so it will show the values in the very prettier way. Okay, so I'm going to update the records because I introduce a new field called gender, right? So I need to update the gender for the among the 3 records are already there, right? I'm going to update the gender value for one of the record, like that Stephen Smith is there, right? So I am going to update that. So what I want to do, that db.customer of update, the first parameter is what is the value I need to find it. I need to find the first name. So that's the reason within the braces first name of Stephen, and what is the value I need to update it. So in the second parameter, $set colon that field name colon value. Okay, so what it will do, first of all it will find the value, find the first name. Is there any records in the collection with the first name called Stephen? If it is there, then it will update the collection as gender as male. Okay, right. So after that I need to give the db.customer.find of pretty. So what it will do, so you can see that, right, the third record is showing like first name, last name, and gender as male. Okay, okay, so I think you may come to know about the basic idea of MongoDB. So earlier I told, right, so this is very easy to learn about it. So once we done the update, right, in the same way I'm going to update the first name, because the two records are having the same name, like John is there for first record and second record. So I'm going to issue the same command like db.customerupdate. I need to find the first name as John, and I just replace it, right. So first name as John and last name as Emmanuel. Okay, so the records is getting updated. If I give the pretty method, it will show that the first record as John Emmanuel and second record as the John Don. So the two records are unique, so we can use the update also. So in RDBMS, what are all the things we are doing, that we have the very lengthier statements and comments are there, but in the MongoDB we have very smaller commands and very easy to handle that. But again I am saying, if you are going to do the lot of database transactions, then MongoDB is not the prettiest choice. So if your application is having a very less database transactions, and you are going to develop a content management like application, then MongoDB is fine. Okay, or if you are going to do any graphical related items, or if you are going to do any mathematical calculations, then MongoDB is very easy to handle it. Okay, so up to now we just go through that, what is how we can create a MongoDB database, how we can install the MongoDB in the on-premises format. So right now we are going to discuss about cloud format. Okay, so in cloud format you need to go to that cloud.mongodb.com. So it will ask you to sign up your either you can sign up using your Gmail ID, or you can create a new account. So once you sign up that, right, it will ask your organization name and project name and what is the preferred language it is. Actually it will show some certain snippets to connect your database, so that's the reason it is asking your preferred language. I am just choosing other. And if you want to create the database in the cloud, right, so either you can choose any one of the package. Right now I am going to choose the free package. For the demo purpose I am just choosing the free package. So in the cloud format, first of all we need to create the cluster and we need to create the database user. If the database is available in the cloud, you need to access the database from your location or from your computer. So then you need to whitelist the IP address. What are all the IP addresses should access the database? Because if you are installing the MongoDB in your machine or in any of your server, you don't want to worry about those things. But you are going to create the database and create the collections in the cloud. So if you want to you need to secure your database and secure your collections, right, then you need to share the IP address. What are all the IP address should access the collection. So that's the reason that whitelist of IP address you need to give that. Okay, let's get started about how to create the new cluster. So if you click the create new cluster, it will ask you to give the details like what is the cluster you are going to create about it. So you are going to create the uh, database in the cloud environment. So I am going to choose the database as AWS, and what is the region is North Virginia, and give the cluster name. So you need to give the cluster name. By default it will show like a cluster of 0, some other thing is there. You can just override that one and you can just click the create cluster button. So it will create the cluster. So if you see the breadcrumb in the blue line, right, it shows that. So it will create the cluster name called the demo project or MyDB, whatever it is you want, that you can just create the cluster. So once you create the cluster, you need to create the user to access your database. Okay, so I just click the database access. So what it will do, it will ask the database user. So you need to access you need to add the new database user. The new database user, you need to just give the password format. So if you want to access your user, right, if you want to give this password and other things, there are few ways available in the cloud format. Generally in the database you can just give the username and password only, so it will store the password in its own way. but the cloud environment is providing various facilities. Either you can store the password in the legacy way, that is simply username and password, or you can create the certificates, or you can utilize the AWS IAM. Okay, so anyway, in this video we don't want to discuss more about these certificates and AWS IAM. Okay, so let's move on to the username as test user and password as test user. For the demo purpose I gave the same thing. Anyway, in the security point of view, this is not the correct practice. For the demo purpose, I just give the username and password as same, and I just create the new user. So here the user got created as test user, and the authentication method as SCRAM, SCRAM, and it is having the read write access any database. Okay, so the user got created successfully. Okay, so now what I want to do, that I need to give the IP address, because earlier I told, right, if you want to access your database, your IP address needs to be included in this list, because your database is available in the cloud environment. Right now I am giving the access list entry as 0.0.0./0. If you click that allow access from anywhere, right, if you click that button, it will automatically update the access list entry as 0.0, and I just give the commands as demo purpose. And again I am saying this is for the demo purpose, so that's the reason I just give the allow access from anywhere. If you want to create it for the project, you need to give your appropriate IP address. So for that you need to click the add current IP address, and you need to give your list of IP addresses needs to be whitelisted. Then you need to access the database from that appropriate IP address only. Okay, I just click the confirm button. So your IP address got whitelisted, so you can access the database from wherever you want. Okay, so to connect the database, what are all the things you want? You want the username, password, and connection string, you want that, right? So in the cloud format, MongoDB simply provide these details. So if you click the connect button, it will open one pop-up. In that pop-up you can choose the to connect your application. Okay, so if you click that option, it will give the details. MongoDB, what is the username, test user, and the password you need to type it, and what is the cluster of 0 means that is the database name. Okay, I created various databases. If you see in the bottom of the screen, I just give the test user, password is also the test user, mydb, that is the database name I created. I think you remember, right, in that first time while you are giving the cluster as 0 is the default value provided by the MongoDB, you need to replace it for your appropriate database name. So mydb I chosen, so mydb, and the remaining thing is provided by the MongoDB. So if you want to connect your application, connect your database, you need to copy and paste it in your appropriate code base. Okay, so I believe you will get some more basic knowledge about what is MongoDB and other details. Okay, uh, so this is the screen we already developed using the React.js, Node.js, and Express.js. So in the next session, what I am going to do, that I am going to create a simple table, and I will pull the data from the table, and it will be rendered into the React.js application. I think that will be the very interesting thing about that, and up to that you will get clear idea about that the mean stack development, what is the MERN stack development, and other details. Okay, thanks for watching this channel. Please subscribe and share it. Happy learning. Bye bye.